Hey, it's Luke from LT Gaming, and today we're marching straight into Veterans Napoleonic Wars. This is a game that caught my eye immediately because I'm a massive fan of Ultimate General Civil War, and this one looks like it could satisfy my need for classic large-scale real-time tactics in a very big way. I mean, I got so excited when I saw this, you wouldn't believe it. So if you enjoy lines of infantry like me, rolling cannon fire and men in very impractical hats doing extremely serious things, do me a favour and drop a like on the video and we'll jump right in. Right, so at its core, Veterans Napoleonic Wars is a single-player, real-time tactical wargame set during Napoleon's early Italian campaigns. The big selling point is that this is a battlefield-focused experience with no base building, just like the Ultimate General games, and you'll be focusing on commanding large formations of infantry, cavalry, and artillery in real time, reacting to flanking maneuvers, breakthroughs, wavering lines, and desperate measures as battles unfold. Once again, it sounds like the stuff I dream about at night. I mean, yeah, maybe I need to get out more. I really wanted to bring this to your attention if you haven't seen it before, and let's be honest, that's what LT Gaming does a lot of these days. We're like a vehicle to bring you these titles and put them on your radar, because we all need large-scale battles with thousands of soldiers in them. It's just something in gaming that we have to have. And although Total War games do scratch that itch a little bit, they're not on the same scale as this or the Ultimate General games. You've got dynamic battlefields promised in this one with smoke and weather, and an army system where surviving troops can grow into veteran formations over time. So this is clearly trying to be more than just a surface level Napoleonic skiing over a generic RTS. What makes this interesting is that the game seems to understand the fantasy people are chasing here. This is not about slapping down buildings or racing through a tech tree. It's about formations, battlefield pressure, morale, fatigue, visibility, and trying to keep control while the line starts to buckle. I mentioned it before in the Grand Tactician video, but Sharpe's rifles was an absolute staple of mine growing up as a kid, although why my parents let me watch it, I'll never know. It had some very mature themes in it. Elizabeth Hurley, I'm looking at you, and I was looking. Anyway, let's move on. The other thing I like in the pitch is that they state soldiers, morale, fatigue, line of sight, and veterans all matter. And that's very important for wargamers like us to feel immersed. Now, of course, this does cross over a little bit. We've got wargamers on the channel, we've got real-time strategy people, and when you combine them, it seems to be super popular. So I'm really happy to see this game be made. And it would be my hope if they can bring all those systems together that this could be more of an advanced wargame than it first appears to be. The recent official devlogs on Steam are actually a really good sign because they show Tactical Boar, the developer, are focused on exactly the areas that should define a game like this. Developer blog number 1 centers on the Battle of Montenotte, which fits neatly with the emphasis on Napoleon's early Italian campaigns. It shows the developer is at least trying to anchor it in something specific rather than just lashing out at something random in the Napoleonic era. And then the second dev blog focused on the morale system, which is going to be extremely important in battles like this to make it feel realistic. If your troops stand for too long after taking too many casualties, it just doesn't feel immersive. And of course, if they break and run at the first sign of any action, then they must be French. I mean, that was a low-hanging fruit joke there, Luke. But yeah, you don't want your troops just legging it as soon as a shot is fired. So far from what I was able to play, they haven't quite got the balance of this right yet. It definitely needs some tweaking, but I won't hold it against them as it is an alpha build I got my hands on. But in theory, morale should end up being one of the big things that separates this from being a simple click and forget tactics game. We certainly want our battles to have some spectacle, but we also want them to feel real. Just a quick interlude to suggest, why don't you subscribe to the channel? We know that many of our viewers are not, and you're going to miss out on some of the awesome upcoming titles and the deep dives that we do here on LT Gaming. Plus, we do key giveaways. You can join the Discord where I do giveaways in there also, and maybe even join the channel as a member. We just published our first newsletter. So subscribe to LT Gaming and help a small champion of indie titles conquer YouTube. We really appreciate it. They're also developing dynamic conditions like rain, mud, sunshine, smoke, fog of war, plus that persistent army progression, where surviving troops carry value forward into later battles, a system I really enjoyed when they implemented it in Ultimate General Civil War. So all the ingredients are present for a strong Napoleonic battlefield experience. But during my playtime so far, it wasn't quite balanced yet. I have to say there are some areas where it fell short and it does need a lot of work. The big issue for me is that combat feels too lethal too quickly. Units can shred each other in a way that makes the battles feel a bit too arcade-like in my experience. And that's a real problem for a game built around Napoleonic warfare, because this era should live and die on pressure, formation integrity, morale collapse and timing, not just on how fast one blob deletes another. I would implore Tactical Boar, if you do listen to this, slow the combat down. It feels way too fast even compared to the Civil War games. But I'm not going to write the game off just yet, because it is a very early build I got my hands on, so I do want to stress that. They've plenty of time to fix that issue. Slowing things down a bit and giving engagements more staying power would, in my view, do a lot to make the battles feel weightier and more believable. And yeah, look, we can't really avoid it here. If we're looking at comparisons, a lot of people are going to make this out to be very similar to Ultimate General Civil War, and it really is. There are some questions in the Steam forum about where the assets came from, and I don't know what's gone on behind the scenes. I'm just going to assume that they've done nothing wrong here. They did answer to say that the games are not connected in any way, but I just have to take their word for that at this time. And if they do want to address that issue, do stick a comment below and I will pin it. What really matters to me long term is whether veterans can turn the familiar appeal into something distinctly Napoleonic, where formations, cavalry threats, morale shocks and battlefield flow take centre stage and bring the era to life. That's why the comparison to me is actually a super strong compliment. Ultimate General Civil War is an amazing game, so if Veterans is inviting that comparison, it also means expectations are instantly much higher. Now, the good news is I can absolutely see the shape of something promising here. The foundation is strong enough on paper. Tactical first battles, no base building, large formations, persistent troop progression, and that morale-driven warfare all sound like the right ingredients for a proper Napoleonic real-time tactics game. But it is incredibly early and there's a lot of work to do here, and I need to be very honest and upfront about that. The core is certainly strong. The gameplay that I've played has been fun, if a little bit unbalanced, but it's one for you to add to your wish list. I wanted to bring it to your attention at the earliest stage because I know the appetite is out there for a game like this. So, Veterans Napoleonic Wars, keep an eye on it. If they can change it a little and balance it more so the battles become slower, more Napoleonic feeling, this could certainly start to rise to the top of your wish lists. So there we go, LT gamers, don't hold back. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one.